welcome back to Let's Play Dwarf Fortress. Just like maybe month or two has gone by, and we actually got some new arrivals to our little outpost. We got weaponsmith, stonecrafter, weaver, woodcrafter, a peasant, and two childs. So we have 14 population. And it's okay. We only get in problems if we get like 20 people before our fortress is ready for that. So it's okay that we have 14 people. And let's see. We can actually now queue more things for people to do. Let's actually queue all of that. Because now we have lots of people, so it's likely that people have time to do all of that. Let's see. Yeah, let's hope that someone starts to process all of the fish that have been caught. Because there's lots of fish, and they need to be processed before you can make food out of those. So some dogs are fighting against cow wolves. I see. And here actually we have cherry flowers on the ground. So we have some cherry trees, which means that at some point we can start gathering cherries from these trees. Like, I think at the autumn is the time to gather the cherries. And the hunter is hunting. Let's see. Our ranger is returning kill. Let's see. Yeah. They are going to go to the butcher shop to butcher the kill that they have caught. I wonder what they have caught. He's moving quite slowly, so it probably means that whatever he has caught is like heavy and large. Let's see. He goes there to process it. Oh. What is he doing? He's going to hunt again. So they hope that someone else. Actually, the weaponsmith is processing the food, and it seems that it's cow moose. So it's a moose that the hunter managed to kill. So I guess that we should get lots of food from that animal. So interesting to see what the hunter is going to do. There's actually lots of moose on this map. Here's another bull moose actually. So lots of animals for the hunter to hunt. And now there's like lots of moose parts here. So here is like the tusk render fat. And let's then, when all of the fat is rendered, let's then start preparing fine meals. We can later use the fat to make soap, but at this moment we don't really have like the industry to do that. So probably the fat is going to be used in cooking, practically. and the hunter has run out of ammunition. I think that we gave him 200 arrows in the beginning, but that wasn't enough. Let's see. A new task. Make. Is there task to make arrows? Actually, there's not. I have to make another workshop. Let's see. Let's see. Workshops. Military. No. It's workshops. And boyan. Yes. Let's make boyar in here. Because I think that boyar allows us to make more ammunition. Let's see if there's like task for. No, it's only for making bows. I don't actually know how to make the ammunition. Let's see. Rough Dwarf's workshop allows us to make the ammunition. And workshop crafts in here. So let's see. Let's hope that someone builds it. And then, actually, make 5 bone balls. Let's make the ammunition out of bone, because the hunter has managed to kill some animals, and the animals give us some bone, and with the bone, we can actually make bone ammunition. And when the hunter has bone ammunition, they can actually hunt more creatures. So let's do it that way. So let's hope that someone has time to start making the ammunition. Okay, someone is making the ammunition. I think that one bowl yields 5 arrows. And the hunter, I think, can carry at most 25 arrows at a time, I feel. So, let's see how it goes. The hunter should return quite soon to get more arrows. Yes. What's interesting here, I think that we are almost out of bone. So let's see how it goes. Is there any bone in here? No, not really. Not really. The bone in here. What can Rose moves us to? I see. Actually, let's cancel that. Yeah. Let's cancel making more meals, because those are just going to rot. But let's gather more plants. Gather more plants in here. Because we have more people now, so we should have enough people to gather plants. And when we have plants, we can, for example, make alcohol or something more. Something food or something. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. It has started raining. Yeah, the dwarves really don't like to be outside when it's raining. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Some dwarves need to be outside to gather the plants and do all of that stuff. Let's see. Ranger is fishing. Yeah. And our miners are mining. So we're still making bone bolts. Actually, we have lots of bone bolts at this point. So the hunter shouldn't run out of bone bolts if he wants to start hunting again. Let's see. So items. He has actually some copper bolts. Has some copper bolts. But he can also use bone bolts if he wants to. Weather has cleared. Yes, we are out of bone. But when the hunter kills another big animal, they can again start making bone bolts. Yeah, and I think that this is progressing slowly. It really is going to take like 1 year to learn all of this. But I already knew that it was going to take 1 year to mine it, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised it takes that long. Lots of hematite though. So they are going to be able to make some iron items. But that's going to be useful. Some tetrahedrite, which is also kind of useful. Yeah. And I don't think that they are going to run out of wood soon. Yeah. So I think that we have enough drink and enough food. Let's still at noon task, grow drink full plant. And let's hope that someone starts making more alcohol from plants. And some people are sleeping outside. But that's just something that has to happen. And I hope that lots of people are gathering plants. Yeah, our miners are digging, rangers fishing, most of others are gathering plants. And at some point someone should come us and start making alcohol out of those plants. But I think there's quite a lot of plants on this map. It's very rich on like plants. And we actually have lots of these cherry trees. So in the autumn, I feel that we are going to get lots of cherries. Of course, we actually, let's like making barrels. Let's make, where is it? Where is it? stepladder. We need some stepladders to gather all of those cherries. Let's make just a couple of stepladders. And also just a couple of wheelbarrows. Because at the point when we can, can start moving stuff to the stockpiles, we actually need wheelbarrows to move stuff quickly. But those stepladders will allow us to gather the cherries. Because we need the stepladders to reach the cherries. And someone is cleaning the fish, so the fish will provide food for us. And at some point, someone is going to make more alcohol for us. So, things are good so far. What's in here? Some mussel shells. Yep. Yes, let's get the game running. In the autumn, we will get the supply caravan, but we won't have anything to trade anyways, and we probably won't even have the trade people buy that. So we will miss the caravan for this year, but we hope that we have like enough stuff to survive until next year. And we also hope that we don't get much more people, because it would be problem if we got like over 20 without actually having the fortress, because the fortress is supposed to shield us from the attacks. And if the fortress is not ready, it's going to be a problem. What's here? I think it's some leaves coming from the trees. Yeah. Some cherries also on the ground. I think it would be time to start gathering the cherries. Let's give the order to start gathering the plants. So I hope that they gather the cherries when I give this order. They should do it. And we should have enough stepladders to do it. We then can make some cherry wine or some cherry alcohol, cherry cordial, something like that. The game is saving, which means that the season has changed. It's becoming autumn. I think that this is so warm area that the river won't freeze during the winter. But we just have to see. And also, if the dwarves are sleeping outside, then I hope that they don't freeze during the winter. But it still takes some time before the winter comes. Yeah, we should have plenty of food and drink, actually. It shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I have to check what everyone is doing. Most are gathering plants and the diggers are digging. And we need to get the stockpiles underground as soon as possible. But in this fortress's case, it's not going to happen very soon. Because we have like this totally huge mining project, which takes like 1 year to do. And it's not even near to be done. Like we are maybe halfway there. So, yeah. So yeah, not much to do. Just to wait that things get done. But we should have actually plenty of food and plenty of drink. Yeah, and we have lots of cookables also. So, yeah, lots of alcohol. Yeah, but no water. I think that like some people are mining and the rest of the people are mostly gathering plants. And our ranger is fishing. Yeah, the Nakans would come, but we don't have trade people, so they will just go past us. But despite this, I think that there still will be diplomacy. And with diplomacy, our leader can tell what we want next year. So yeah. I just hope that, let's see. Yeah, the team leader is drinking at the moment. So let's hope that the diplomat finds him and we can talk about what stuff we want next year. Yes, here is diplomacy. I am your liaison from Mountain Homes. Let's discuss your situation. Let's see what we actually want next time. We want blueprints or... Let's see. We probably want drinks. We want gypsum plaster for the hospital. Let's see what else. This. Maybe we want some ropes. Yep. I guess that's it. Some poop helps for some alcohol, gypsum plaster, and some ropes. So that's it. That's what we want next year. And there should be plenty of plants to brew alcohol from. And even that 200 units of alcohol should be plenty for fortress of this size. For apple trees. Some apple trees. So we can also gather apples. Let's actually also make some meals. Because it's better to eat meals than just raw food stuff. Yeah, I think that we have like the minimal setup of workshops in here on the surface, and we are just waiting so that our home gets mined to the stone and we can move everything underground. And yeah, it will probably take half a year's more. That's just a dream then. Yeah. Yeah, there is really lot of stuff to learn. Lot of stuff to learn. But no matter. We have 5 people lining, so project is progressing. And we should be making some food. Actually, when we have kitchen, we should make sure that you can't make food out of alcohol. Let's see. River spirits, no. Beer, no. Pinot beer. Very wine. Sour brew. Yeah, let's not make food out of alcohol. Let's make food out of like fresh stuff. Fresh stuff. Like for example fish and walnuts and that kind of things. Yeah, and we have about 400 food, which should be plenty. Yeah. But yeah, things are progressing. And our rangers still fishing. There seems to be lots of fish in the river. So I guess that's good. Yeah, it seems that at least some people are processing the raw fish. Because they are not very useful if they are not processed. So yeah. Yeah, and I kind of think that this is not very cold area. Not very cold area. So I don't think that we actually get snow or ice. I may be wrong, but I think that there's not going to be ice in there. Wait. And here the mining continues. Slowly but surely. Still lots of areas to divide. But I guess that's it for this episode. See you in the next one.